This is my story from zero to day trading full time. I was tired of chasing promotions that never came, tired of waking up every day with a new problem that I could not solve because of the lack of money. So I decided to try something different. Fast forward to today, and I have now clocked into a job in over 5 years. In this video, I'll walk you step by step through how I went from knowing nothing about trading to earning my income full time from it. This isn't about confusing charts or endless hours. It's about a simple formula that anyone can follow. By the end of this video, you'll understand why most people fail at day trading, the formula I used to succeed, and how you can take your first step today without risking a fortune or wasting years trying to figure it out. Now, in this video, I want to be as honest and genuine as possible with you guys because I don't want you to fall into the same traps and mistakes that I fell into 7 years ago when I started day trading. Your journey should only take 6 months to be profitable, even if you're starting from complete zero, right? It should not take you 3 years like it took me for me to actually become profitable. Number one, why most people get day trading wrong. See, the thing is, most beginners, they jump in blind, and especially after watching maybe a random YouTube video or seeing someone that's gambling with their money and making a lot of money with it, then they instantly just think, okay, you know what, let me do the exact same thing and kind of test my luck. But that's never a good option, because what ends up happening is you blow your account, you over risk, and you don't even understand why you're selling or buying whatever you're trading, right? So what ends up happening is you blow that account. And what does that do? That leaves a bad taste in your mouth about trading. Now, another thing is a lot of people try indicators and different strategies and different models, but what happens is the exact same thing. They just fall into the cycle of repeating the same mistake and they never actually come out of it. And that's called a negative feedback loop, which keeps you from being profitable. And what ends up happening is a little bit more down the line, you end up quitting day trading because you just simply say it does not work out, when in fact there are some things that you have to change about your way of approaching the market, which if you do that, they'll make a big shift in your trading and you'll actually be able to make your first dollar. Number two, now here is the formula that changed everything for me. When I started, what I simply did and what I found is the best thing to do, especially if you're a beginner, is actually just following signals. The problem with people following signals is they don't actually follow them. What they do is they follow the signal and then they also add their own trades on top because they want to make money so quick and so fast. And what ends up happening is maybe that signal will win, but what happens is whatever the trades that they took ends up losing. Now that doesn't add up. You have a losing trade here, you have a winning trade here. You're either at break even or you're losing money because you're over leveraging, right? You're risking more than you should. And that's the thing is you need to understand, let's say you have $1,000 in your account. The problem is a lot of people want to turn that 1,000 into $10,000 in one day, which I'm sorry to tell you, but it doesn't happen. You have to think about it this way, right? If I'm trading with $1,000 and I'm risking 2% per trade, I need 50 losing trades for me to blow that account. Now, for you to lose 50 trades in a row is almost impossible, mathematically almost impossible. But the problem is people will over risk, right? So instead of risking 2% on a position, they'll risk 20%, 30%. And then you find yourself losing. And then what you do is you try to revenge trade and you just lose more, right? So that's kind of what you have to avoid, especially when following signals. Now, for me, I started following signals. And I'll be honest with you guys, 7 years ago, I started following signals and I made money with it, right? And that's what really opened my eyes about trading and the possibility of it, right? So I used signals kind of like a GPS. Right, I wanted to get to a destination, but I did not know the way around. And what I did is simply just follow a GPS, someone that knows what they're doing, and I just follow their roadmap to get to the destination that I want much faster and without a lot of bumps. Right, so that's kind of the way that I went on about it. And it also allowed me to learn while making money. So even though I was just copying the trades, but I was also learning. I was like, okay, well, let's see what made this person take this trade. Okay, 1, 2, 3 was the analysis behind it. Okay, so how can I now implement and understand the strategy for me to apply it myself, right? And that's what really opened my eyes to trading and the possibilities that come with it. And that's the thing is the beauty is it doesn't take hours a day. That's just a myth. It takes hours and whatnot. No, that's not true. Copying trades is literally only gonna take you 5 minutes a day, right? You simply just input and copy and paste it. That's it. The good thing about it is you can keep doing that until you actually develop a strategy or learn a strategy that you can start using yourself and then implement it. So you can make money while you're also learning, because there's a bunch of signals out there. I'll be honest with you guys, there's a bunch of signals out there, but the problem is they'll either have too many take profit points, which just leaves you confused on where to exit. They don't have consistent stop losses, and they edit their trades every single time, right, to make it look like they're winning when in fact they are just losing, right? So I don't want to talk about other people's signals. I could care less. But that's the thing, is like, for you can simply just follow this formula that I followed. Don't reinvent the wheel and try to do something different. Just simply follow the system that is working, right? There's no need to reinvent the wheel and do something out of the ordinary. Now, the question that's left to ask is, how can you get started today using the formula that I've just laid out? Now, what you can do is simply just copy the trades that I take, copy my signals that I send out every day for you to start making your first dollar in trading, and eventually use it to get funded, get more prop firm payouts, and just transition into trading full time. The same one I wish someone handed to me when I started. Click the link in the description and get my signal package today. You'll see firsthand how this works, and who knows, maybe in a few months you'll have a bunch of payouts using the signals that I'm giving you, and build enough capital where you have a portfolio of trading accounts that you can use to start trading full-time, just like I have. Now let's talk about how I personally went full-time into trading and my story behind it. It's pretty interesting because it's almost like the same story that you guys would experience as you go through those levels in trading. Again, I started the same way as you, watching YouTube videos, trying to copy signals, doing all that jazz. And then it came to a point where I was just unprofitable for three years. It was 2.5, 3 years. And I'm like, okay, well, this, something is not working out, because I keep trying to break the rules. I keep trying to do account flips. I keep trying to do something that is not normal. So then I simply plugged out of it, simply like took myself out of the equation. I'm like, you know what? Let me just follow one strategy, put down the rules. So I actually had the rules like laid out on my phone. Every morning I would wake up and I just see it on my background screen to remind myself of the rules that I cannot break, especially if I want to make money in trading. I'm like, okay, you know what? Those are the rules. It's as simple as following them for me to actually become profitable. And that's exactly what I did. And guess what happened? I opened a funded account. It was a 100K My Forex Funds account. Now, My Forex Funds is gone now, but that was a really good prop firm back in 2021. And I actually got my first payout from a 100K account. So the moment I passed it, I started trading live. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just make $2,000 this month. That's all I wanted. And guess what? I made more than $2,000. I actually made $4,000 as my first payout. And that was the biggest eye opener for me. The moment I got my payout, they paid me out through my crypto wallet. And the moment that hit my crypto wallet, everything changed for me. And I'm like, you know what? This is exactly what I want to be doing for the rest of my life. After that, I made more payouts and then more payouts. And then I just started simply building on top of it and getting more funded accounts to stack my funding. That way, instead of having just 100K in funding, I scaled up to 400K in funding. Now, I used that to simply just aim for a tiny 5% every single month for me to receive those payouts and start stacking on top and making money and simply just doing what I want to do and not having to clock into a job. Now here I am. It was not luck. It was simply me putting in not only the hours into this strategy to make sure that it's working and it's perfect and it's repeatable and it's easily executable. It was also sticking to that one strategy and not jumping from one strategy to another when one fails, right? Because a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll follow a strategy, and the moment that it stops performing, what they'll do is switch into another one, right? And then they'll go into the same exact negative feedback loop that we spoke about earlier. Now, what you have to do is you have to understand that no strategy will win 100% of the time. That's simply not the case with anything in life, right? You're gonna have your losing days, you're losing weeks, maybe even you're losing months, right? So you have to understand that, okay, I have to stick to my strategy regardless of what happens, because I've back tested it and I've done my market research, and I've done all the work that needs to be done before even starting to trade. And I know that I have a 70% win rate, and that's proven statistically over 1,000 trades. All right, so once you have that math, then you can actually have trust in your strategy and not have to change it every time that it fails.